What do you call Santa when he goes down the chimney into a fire? Crisp Kringle. But welcome back to day 2. Merry Christmas of, I think this is Christmas Crunchtime as of day 2, so we're calling it. Okay, I'm going to make this one quicker. I want to talk about God's heart today. I mean, obviously, in the Bible we see Jesus go through emotions and God go through emotions throughout the Old and New Testament. But I want to share like my personal stories that could help strengthen your belief. I mean, imagine God's heart, like our hearts, but more amplified, because we were made in His image, so we feel, God feels way more because He feels for 7 billion people. You know what I mean? Empathy. And so this is a story about the pain that God feels. I mean, we know that when we feel pain, He feels pain for us. I mean, great example on the cross. But one time, it's kind of weird to say, but Jesus came to me and started speaking physically to me. It's a long story, I'll explain some other time. But He was speaking in my ear, and there was this point in the dialogue when I just broke down, bawling, because it was a whole really painful time, and I was bawling and crying. And at my most painful moment, He starts crying too. And He says, "Patrick, these are the tears I have for you. I cry with you." And I heard it from the mouth of God Himself. And I think that summarizes it well enough that God feels with us. When we cry, He cries. He feels it. And probably a lot more than we do too, because He loves us. Okay, and then on the opposite side, happiness. So sometimes during Mass, I kind of get the gift where, after I receive communion, where I'll feel a little portion of the love that Jesus or God has for others. So I will feel genuine joy and happiness and love for the people that I see going up and receiving the Eucharist. And when those days happen, when I get that gift, I see my friends going up and I cry of joy that they're receiving God, that they're receiving the Eucharist. And my heart can only contain a little amount of God's love. If I, Patrick, cry when I see my friends receiving the Eucharist as a little part of God's love, imagine, of joy, cry of joy, don't worry, disclaimer or clarification. Imagine how much God rejoices, cries, dances. I don't even know what God does when you receive Him in the Eucharist, when you treat Him well, when you follow Him, even though you don't feel like following Him. So yeah, basically, God cries. He feels. He feels what you feel, and He experiences them with you. Amen. Merry Christmas.